I don't understand why y'all don't understand that Black Americans don't give a flying that a plantation burned to the ground in 2025. That thing was built in 1859 by enslaved black folk who were considered property. We don't care.
Every time I see a video come across my news feed of that Nottoway Plantation, the biggest and largest plantation that was still standing, I smile because I know my ancestors are free.
I see on here that a lot of y'all upset that Black Americans are celebrating that the Nottoway Plantation burned down in Louisiana. First off, why wouldn't we celebrate it? Why aren't you celebrating? We talking about a place with such dreadful roots until it's unimaginable what our ancestors could have went through on this plantation after they built it. And to all y'all who out here saying, oh, it was a beautiful piece of history. What was beautiful about it? What was beautiful about that history? Please tell me in the comments what was beautiful about it. I'm struggling to understand how a place like that would ever be considered a beautiful piece of history. So yeah, we're going to celebrate it.
I want to talk about that Nottoway Plantation burning. There's a big divide between melanated and non-melanated people. And that's not to say all white and black people feel the same, but I want to discuss some of the arguments, two in particular, that I've seen in the content that I've been able to access. The first one is this, that the plantation preserves history. And I find that statement to lack credibility. For one, if you go to the website and you click on the history link, you will not see why that dwelling came into existence. There's no mention of slaves or slavery, not that I have been able to see. And it's called the resort and a mansion. So, and in my eyes and in my intellect, I see that that's not preservation, that's erasure. And so if we reach across the aisle and we see why our brothers and sisters over there are laughing and celebrating, it's because of several things. And one is this: I'm not a slave, my mother is not a slave, and my grandmother is not a slave. However, the remnants from that time period still carry over into 2025, and we are still fighting for equal footing in every area of our lives. Second, I did mention to you all that I am in Florida. In 2022, DeSantis, he signed a Stop Woke Act that determined and defined what type of information in Black history would be taught in the K through 12 public school systems here. So it's more than what meets the eye, and the soul has celebrated. And so that's what you all see is going on. And lastly, I just want to confirm something that I believe is a message from the universe and the ancestors. Yeah, and you know what that is? Tell the whole story, or none of it will be told.
I keep telling y'all, these spirits that you keep playing with, keep joking about, are not playing with you. So you see that Nottoway Plantation just so happened to burn down. A plantation that slaves built. A plantation that's been around since 1859. Just out of the blue, it burned down.
At the conclusion of the Civil War, the Nottoway Plantation in Louisiana that recently burned down had 155 enslaved African Americans on it. They physically built this giant house by hand using the wood from the cypress trees that are also on the land. But you'd never know that looking at their website. Their website identifies this plantation as a resort, and it has 40 rooms to choose from. And you can do weddings and dinners and photo shoots. The names of the rooms are even named after the children and descendants of this Randolph guy.
So let me get this straight. First, it was the Nottoway Plantation that burned to the mother ground, right? And so everybody's saying that's the work of the ancestors. Okay, cool. But now, a Confederate museum in North Carolina just got destroyed by a big ass tree that's been around since the 1800s. Interesting. think like the movie Sinners started a different type of awareness within our people that made us start to acknowledge our ancestors a little bit more than usual. But it's not just that. It's a new shift going on, and the ancestors is tired because they tired of America. They still fucking with their descendants, okay? And I just feel like it's just getting started, baby. This is just the beginning. It's going to be more historical artifacts that was built on the backs and blood, sweat, and tears of African-American slaves that's going to get fucked up this year. And then the biggest lie is the fact that they wanted us to believe racism is over. You know, we're in a new day and age. Ain't none of that happening anymore. But that situation with that lady, Shiloh Hendricks, getting all that money for calling a little child the N-word, I feel like that woke something up in the ancestors, in the spirit realm. Enough is a fuck enough, okay? I can only imagine what it feels like to work hard as hell for years and years, don't get paid, and then get treated badly as well. You can at least treat them nice if you're going to make them work for fucking free and shit. And now you want to be brutal. You want it to be evil.
Because, of course, there's going to be the white people in the comments saying, all these comments are so disgusting and sad. Like, a building doesn't commit sins, you guys. It's beautiful. You can't see it by the architecture. The architecture. Like, it's such a beautiful place, and this is just so sad. Like, y'all get for real right now. The amount of horrible things that happened on these grounds, in these walls. And while I can understand for historic purposes that it's great to have these things still around so that we are reminded of what happened, but when this is turned into a resort, then we got a problem. Our ancestors will not be mocked. Our trauma will not be mocked. The disgusting, horrible, traumatic, violent things that happened in these walls, on these grounds, is not something to romanticize and make beautified and forgotten and swept to the side because of the architecture. Are y'all for real? People's family members were unalived here, and it's been made into a resort. Like, as the largest antebellum mansion in Louisiana burns down. And you can't fathom why African American people are celebrating, are saying good, and are talking about our ancestors. Like, this is our family history. Like, I don't think it's clicking for some of y'all.